Welcome back to the Quantum Peak podcast, the show where we explore how innovators and tech leaders are using AI, automation, and design thinking to scale smarter. I'm Kritish, founder of Quantum Peak, where we help digital and service firms use AI to generate highly targeted leads and automate manual processes. Today, I'm thrilled to be joined by someone who truly lives at the intersection of creativity and technology, Brady MacDonald, partner and chief of sales at Nexxt Ideas. Nexxt Ideas helps businesses turn their product vision into real scalable digital solutions, and they're doing some really interesting work around AI, customer experience, and product innovation. Brady, it's great to have you on the show.
Oh, absolutely great to join you. Thank you very much for the invite. I'm really looking forward to this.
Awesome. Brady, Nexxt Ideas talks about helping companies go from idea to impact. So what does that journey look like from your side? Like, how do you take an early stage concept and make it into a viable market ready product?
That's a great question. Over the years, Nexxt Ideas and my partners, Vincent Gorman and Tiago Bruno, have been working in the sector in the industry for combined over probably about 35 years. We've taken our experience from failures to success. It's the old saying, let's fail cheaply. We've learned from everything that we've gathered over the years, and what we're trying to do is take our wisdom and knowledge and take it into a new approach with Nexxt Ideas, teaching our potentially new clients from startups to existing corporations, getting their idea, creating roadmaps, doing a product marketing validation, and making sure that they're set to succeed, set their goals high, and hit them every single time.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, most companies, struggle to balance innovation with scalability. So either you're building really fast, or you're building it right, but then the pace is lacking. So how do you keep that balance as Nexxt Ideas grows and your customer base expands?
Yeah, it's a great question as well. Like I said, we don't overpromise and underdeliver ever. We set our procedures, again, learning from the years of experience, setting our procedures to be a fail-safe and a quick way for us to have a great return. The ROI on everyone's investments is the most important thing, but we want to make sure that we're setting them up for success right away. So we tell our clients, listen, we're going to set out a roadmap. We're going to, make sure that we validate your idea, your product, and then what we're going to do is we're going to set, as I said, the roadmap out there, and then we have to adhere to it. One of the biggest things with our hurdles that we have right now is when we set up these timelines. You set up a proposal, what's your scope of work, procedures, timeline, your roadmap, costs, and whatnot. And one of the biggest hindrances is, say, a already established organization gets busy and they can't attend meetings or something like that. That's the one thing that kind of holds us back. But other than our clients being our biggest hindrance, we've streamlined our process to make sure that we always hit the targets and we also hit our timelines as well.
Yeah, that's interesting. Your clients become your biggest blockers in some ways.
It really does. But the lines of communications are number one, and then setting the goals. Before even going forward with the project or setting the expectations with the client is key. Letting them know what we're looking from them, because we have a team of people that are dedicated to their project, and these people, these employees of ours are very gifted, very busy, and working hard for them 24/7 almost. And we're ready to start and finish on our timeline. But like when you have your clients that are kind of hold you back, which happens, that's business, it's reality. But we have to set expectations, block off times with them to make sure that we have these check-ins, bi-weekly demos and whatnot. And that's why we succeeded, is because it's not just like we're in the background creating and developing the software. What we're doing is first we're validating the product, making sure we're all in the same boat, and then what we're going to do before even starting development, again, we're going to validate our product, and then we're going to start moving forward and making sure that they have an idea of exactly what we expect from them as well.
Yeah, no, spot on. Setting the right expectations and really putting that on a roadmap
100%.
helps with the alignment. Cool. Nexxt Ideas has been also working on AI ML solutions for clients. So I'm curious, how do you think about using that same intelligence internally, like within your own operations or your sales systems?
You know what? Right now, like we are, coming into a different time with AI. AI is scary for a lot of people. It's changing and evolving very quickly. It's just been introduced to a lot of the markets with a lot of hindrance and a lot of people kind of weary about it. So I'm going to talk about that first. When we're reaching out to clients and introducing the idea of us going internally and streamlining things for them and their organization, it is scary for them. But if you can show the time savings, it's not the cost of it. What we're trying to push is we're trying to tell them, like, listen, we're trying to do the heavy lifting for he or she within the organization to open up that avenue to actually be focused on the job at hand that you're actually trying to do. So internally ourselves, when it comes to the sales reach out, the AI side of stuff, we want to make it very organic. We want to make it sound real. And when we have somebody reaching out or coming into us in an inbound, say, chat or email or something like that, and our AI is responding to he or she, it's got to be natural. It's got to be to the point, precise, and quick. What it's doing is it's a representation of what we're trying to sell to our clients as well. But the honesty side of it is huge. If he or she that is reaching out to us and it is one of our AI agents that's answering questions, and say he or she sits back and say, is this an AI agent that I'm talking to? The number one answer is yes, it is. If they ask you, okay, can I actually talk to someone like Brady or someone human? Of course you can. We're just trying to guide them in the right direction so they don't have to take that, messaging, emailing, waiting on this and that. We're trying to streamline it internally for ourselves to answer the questions for our clients so they have an idea of what we do, who we are, how we can help, and then get them engaged and then maybe pass them off to someone like myself or my two partners.
Yeah, no, that's a great process in place. And I think you're spot on, like, having AI in the loop to drive these efficiencies and these timely follow-ups and responses, but also making sure that it's grounded in human behavior, right? That it doesn't come off as a bot and it's cold and automated, but there is that level of empathy which is built into.
I think you nailed it right on the head when you say empathy, because the human interaction is very important in business. It's just like we always tell potential clients or clients that we're working with right now, we're not trying to replace anybody. We're not trying to take jobs. Again, we're trying to take the heavy lifting off. Like we work in multiple sectors. Like we're working in healthcare, we work in oil and gas, we work in the financial sector and whatnot. And every single client has a different story to tell. They have different pain points, and that's the one thing that we're talking to the new clients, potential clients, and existing clients. Is like, okay, don't tell me everything that's wrong. Tell me one pain point right now that you're experiencing day to day that is really bogging you down, that's keeping you up at night. Tell me one, and what we're going to do is we'll try to solve the problem by creating that roadmap we talked about, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to run it as a pilot. Run just one pilot for one of your pain points. And what we're going to do is build you some confidence in this AI solution or AI agent. And you're going to see the wonders and the time that you're going to get back, because everybody's time is money. And then once you have a complete understanding, complete confidence in what we built for you, let's worry about your pain point 2 and your pain point 3 and pain point 4. A lot of people, a lot of organizations, that think that AI is going to solve everything, and if they come in with an attitude like it's just going to do it, you have to walk away. They're wrong. I can't remember what article it was in. I can find out for you after the podcast. You can posted with this, but
Yeah.
it's a high rate of failure. It's almost 93% of businesses that have already dabbled or implemented AI into their organization have already failed. Scary number. It really is a scary number. And when you think about that, it's just that they didn't have the right provider, which we would be, not selling us, but it could be anybody. They don't have the right provider, letting them know and teaching them. It's another thing. You can implement these AI agents, but it's also that training and teaching them that it is only as good as the data that you feed it. And when you're bringing something in that's so different, you have to be monitoring it and making sure that this is going the right direction for you. Making sure that it's, in the sales side of stuff, it's contacting the right ICP, ideal customer profile. So that's another thing. We want to take this slowly, prove it, grow it, and then move to the next phase.
Yeah, absolutely. No, spot on. The land and expand, strategy is absolutely, key. Like, prove it out in a small pilot and then, go from there.
Yeah. In the earlier days, funny enough, we've been finding that, and this was months ago, when we were reaching out again on the sales side of stuff, with a cold call, treating it to be a more warm call, a lot of people were jumping on it. Like, I want to learn about AI and what it can do for me. And then we start talking about the opportunities. We're talking about how it, streamline, and then they're just all excited. Then they get a little weary. They're like, oh man. And then a lot of people think like, oh, well, Nexxt Ideas, with a sister company that's working under umbrella called AI North, can solve this for you, but it's going to be X amount of dollars, where I can go online and get it for free. Yeah, you can do that, but this is not going to be something that is developed directly for your company or directly for your sector. It's something that's going to be wishy-washy. So that's where you're getting that 93% failure rate. It's not something built for your industry.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's got to be fine-tuned, for that specific scenario, use case, industry, and has the guardrails and the KPIs being tracked. And yeah, I mean, at Quantum Peak also, we're seeing firms, apply AI not just in the products they build, but also in their growth engines, which is like automating lead generation, prospecting, client qualification. So all of that stuff, and of course, it needs to be grounded on KPIs, and performance needs to be continuously monitored and make sure that you're headed in the right direction. So yeah, have you explored any of that growth engine related AI augmentation internally within your systems or client base?
Yeah, we have. We've internally with Nexxt Ideas, it's been actually a huge plus for us, turning cold leads into something warm. Like I said, if you can create the right ICP and then have it monitoring those who are maybe sniffing around through the old World Wide Web and trying to figure out, which development company should I use, or which AI agent should I use in this, that, and then we have our agents reaching out, taking that cold lead and turning it into something warm, educating the potential client about our services, what we do, getting us in contact. And then our biggest positive would be all of a sudden I'm calling. And they're like, oh, this, we went from an AI agent, which I obviously knew that it said it was, doing a cold call reach out, to now talking to that human interaction, being myself. And that just, it's speeded up our flow. It speeded up our sales. It speeded up our close rate and whatnot. And this is while I could be playing hockey at one point, enjoying some time with the family, while I've got our AI agent doing the work for us, and then coming back to all these warm leads. And then also what it's doing is it's getting rid of the wasted time for me to be doing it. And also it stops wasting the time of our potential clients, where, you're doing a cold call and you're not a right fit. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use this in the sales sector, which has been very beneficial for a lot of clients that are coming to us, just transitioning a little bit. You'll go onto the website and they do have contacts, and they've got, they submit a question through our info email on our website, and they don't have a proper chatbot, or if they do have a chatbot, it's not AI simulated and it's just lagging. It doesn't have the data to actually answer the proper question. So that makes it very easy for us. Like, okay, we're not just adding a chatbot. Let's bring in an AI agent chatbot that's actually going to be able to answer the questions, put you in front of the right people, and do this properly.
Yeah. No, there's great value, I think, that you guys are extracting, from implementing this into existing processes.
Learn from your mistakes. Like, again, we had to be at the forefront and test and try it out on ourselves before we can bring it out to market and start pushing the sales side of the development of it. But if we don't succeed, you don't either. And that's another thing. We go into every project. Like, there's going to be the ups and downs. We're going to stick to what we know best. But just know you're going to throw a few curveballs at us. We're going to figure it out so that you're ahead of the forefront. And that's another thing people don't realize is you're not doing it now. Your competitors will be.
Yeah. I think that's a great segue into product failure trap. So you have this great line on your website: 90% of the new products fail, and we refuse to accept that. So what separates the 10% that make it, in your view? Is it strategy? Is it execution? Is it something else?
It's 100% strategy. The execution, we've nailed that years ago, but having the strategy and having what we call it as a PMP process. And if you are willing to go through it, it is 5 to 6 weeks. You're working with an amazing partner, Krista Hill, who's a part of our team, and she is a product guru, if you will. What she does is unreplicated is one by anybody else, because she's done it for years, working with huge companies like Morgan Stanley, Fidelity, I can go on forever. But you have to invest the time to not want to fail. And that's why we have it right across our website. As you go onto our landing page, 90% of products fail. And we're not afraid to say that. We want you to become the 10%. And to do that, you have to invest the time and the money to work with us and someone like Krista Hill to actually have a complete understanding of what you're trying to achieve. If it's actually a viable product, that's, and when I say that, is it that one thing that can answer a question for your potential clients, or answer a problem for your customers that you're looking for? So a lot of people come and approach us with these grand ideas, which we love, not discrediting them, but they come up with these like grand ideas that maybe a startup or like an established corporation. But what we have to kind of pull the reins back on is just like, whoa, try to solve one problem at a time, and make sure that there's a market out there and that you're actually solving a problem for somebody. So be a part of the 10% that is not the 90% of the failure rate, and let us walk you through it and map it out to make sure that we have an idea and a valid market for your idea. And the people that just want to race into it is the 90% that are going to fail.
Yeah, absolutely. So getting that product market fit validated, as early as you can really helps. And, even if you're not there yet, as long as you can iterate faster than the competition, then, you're still coming ahead.
And a lot of people don't realize is, being first to market is always, it's fun. But, you don't always have to be first to market. You just have to come in there and prove a better product, prove you can do it better, depending on what you're trying to sell or what you're trying to achieve. But it's the idea of having an understanding of the market, understanding your product, and being the best to market. Not first always, but best to market.
True. Well said. Yeah. How do you, look at, data as a growth signal? So you work with clients across multiple industries. So that means you see a ton of data about how products are performing, about how users are behaving. How do you turn that delivery data into growth signals, either for yourselves or your clients?
Good question, actually. Well, first you got to figure out what the data is that you're dealing with. Like, I don't know how many times we've come into clients that have asked us, again, talking the side of stuff, to take their data and make it relevant and be able to use it to succeed in the market. But some of this data is going back 25, 35 years. So um, I would say you're only as good as your data, and data can sell, and data can help you grow, and it can help you achieve things. But you have to be open, and I have to be able to have access to all of it at all times. And we are taking sometimes the most archaic script, or we're taking something brand new. We have to be able to transform to what our clients can give us and work it the best way that we can, which we've been very successful with. But people have to realize is data collection is never done. Even if we're working on a project right now, and say we're in a 3 to 6 to 8 months, which never happens, 8 months timeline, you should still be collecting. And if we can help streamline and maybe collect more pertinent information from you, please just listen to us. Let us help.
Yeah. No, that's really, really, insightful. Cool. How do you think about the shift from being just, project shops to being growth partners? So something I've noticed in like digital agencies or dev firms, many of them are trying to evolve from just being builders to growth partners for their clients, right? So how has Nexxt Ideas approached that shift? Are clients expecting more now in terms of longer term impact than just a product delivery or a go-to-market play?
That one I love. I know I keep saying great question after everyone, but this one is one I really like, because I don't think the clients really understand. They wouldn't understand the question that you were asking them. We actually have to educate them. They think that we're just coming in to build a project, launch, and walk away, but that's not it anymore. And on the sales side of stuff, we're not selling to you anymore. What we're doing is we're trying to educate you. We're solution solvers. We come out there. Why we even tell them we hate the title, we're a dev shop. No, we're a solutions provider. And what we want to do is do a deep dive on first your organization, learning about you, the daily operations. And then, like we said, we want to learn about pain points. And then we want to roll into, this is a very quick procedure. Then we want to roll into the road mapping. And then we want to have a success structure for you. And then we want to have rollout. And then we want to have our onboarding, which could be 2 to 3 weeks. And this is even before we start development. And then they're kind of thrown back. They're like, well, we have an idea, just build it. We don't do that at all. We want to, our name is on there. So success is not an option for you and for us. So, and then we also let them know, like, what we're trying to do is create this relationship with you that will be working with you for years down the road. The key is to go through the procedure before development that we just talked about. And then we want to do development and rollouts. And then we want to do the education side of stuff. That's where we're a little bit different. We're not going to handcuff you that you have to use us. We want to train you so that you can actually be sufficient into answering any question, adding anything you'd like, if it's AI or whatnot, and you'd be able to run the system yourself with us in the background, ready, available for any time that you need us. So that's where we succeeded. So to answer your question, our success isn't first development. Our success is the long-term relationship for you guys to come back with us to figure things out. We also tell people, if we really succeeded within 2-3 years, we worked ourselves out of a job, so that you've grown this product so big that you have to internally hire a CTO and a dev team and whatnot, and then we've really succeeded. So to answer your question, to grow with the client is to succeed with the client. hands down.
Yeah. No, and I love that take and that approach, right? It's a mindset shift. Yeah. And it has to happen at the client as well. They need to understand that
It's a hard one as a sales guy, because when you have a client that is definitely sending you paychecks, and you're getting commissions, and and it's a monthly thing because we've got our dedicated team to that client. They're working on the project week in, week out. They're doing it for months on end, and then all of a sudden you're just seeing this huge spike in growth, revenue, and then we have to bring more team members on, and the more hours of building for us as a sales guy, this is rah, rah, rah. And we get to the point where they haven't hit the cap. They've blown right through that roof. And now they're like, okay, and we've actually done this before where like, I suggest as I look at your invoice, like maybe it's time that you guys hire internally. It would be a huge cost savings to you because you've grown so big, and our team can facilitate this for you. But remember, you can also build your own team, and we're still being on the side. So a success with that, which we've done multiple times, and we've seen our clients grow from $10 million in revenue to 64 to $164 million. And then they come back to us with referrals. Like, do you see where they built us? When we were a mom and pop shop, and now we are, operating not just out of Calgary, we're North America wide and breaking internationally. So they're going to their friends, family, people that they know, like, these are the guys you want to work with. So it's been successful for us.
Yeah. No, it's a great story, right? And you guys are, the enablers. So, that's awesome to see.
We can only take you so far. But our goal is for you to sit back and, for us to sit back and say our goodbyes, and we'll see you soon, because most organizations are going to open up a sister company or another division. And then that's the first person that they're going to call is us at Nexxt Ideas.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly like what we're also doing at Quantum Peak. Like we're obsessed with the customer. So, not just, delivering something for them and then saying goodbyes, but it's really about, being connected to the operational data and, connecting that to sales and internal processes and driving growth outcomes, through automation. And I think that really gives them that leverage to really level up in the playing field, and
it's true. There's five. They usually say there's 5 different type of salespeople, from the old school now to the new school. One of them is hard worker. Number 2 is relationship builder. Number 3 is lone wolf. Number 4 is problem solver, and number 5 is the challenger. And years ago, until I started honing my craft and kind of looking for different ways to be successful in sales. And of the 5, I always fell into that relationship builder, which is key with us at Nexxt Ideas. Like, we want to make sure that we have this relationship, which we will always do with our clients. But the real of the 5, the real successful salesperson or persons is the challenger. And the challenger is the one that is taking these existing clients or potential clients and challenging them into, asking questions, having them look at maybe a different avenue, challenging them to look outside the box because they've been doing it for years and years and years. Maybe we can be the person who kind of pushes you outside the box, one, to be the first one in your sector doing something, or to be someone who can actually shift internally your organization to maybe take a little bit of a different route, still with the same objectives and same outcome, but more profitable. Just challenging them. And that's what we try to do. We try to challenge and push. We do get pushback. It's not always in the right direction they want to go, but if we're not challenging them, we're failing as well. So the relationship builder, which I am and still will always be, is there to nurture, to help, and to solve. But I'm also trying to challenge everyone that is working with Nexxt Ideas, challenging them to maybe look outside the box and succeed in different avenues.
Yeah. Cool. No, great approach.
Mhm.
So coming back, full circle to Nexxt Ideas, where do you want to be in 6 to 12 months from now? And if you
Oh,
were to solve one major challenge today, I'll give you three options. Either make more money, grow your client base, or invest in saving time, or drive efficiency within the business. Which one would be top of the list?
I take all of them, to be honest. That's the goal as being one of the partners at Nexxt Ideas. Uh, Obviously, you want to say all of them. And then I'd also like to turn and say, like, I want to drive revenue. We want to be making X amount of dollars, but problem solving will bring all four. So solutions and saving time for everybody would be my ideal, I guess. If we can streamline Nexxt Ideas so that I could literally be sitting on the beach 1 month in, 1 month out, and having our all of our customers that are reaching out to us be able to be speaking to something AI or streamlining the process. So we're taking all the work away from us and we're making it more fun to make money. Maybe if that answers your question, maybe that's where I'd like to see us. And we are close, but another thing is to say, where do you want to be in a year? I want to be in a year sitting back going, okay, what's next for next year? And then what's next for next year? So that's the reason why we call it Nexxt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. What's next?
What's next? No, that's a great tagline.
Nice.
Well, Brady, it's been such an insightful conversation. Love the way how Nexxt Ideas is approaching customers and bridging creativity, design, technology, into a solutioning approach, tying everything together, and putting it into a scale motion. So loved having you on the podcast. And for listeners who want to learn more or connect with you directly, where's the best place to find you?
You know what? Just go onto our webpage, as simple as that, at nexxideas.com. Nexxt ideas.com. And you'll see that it's user friendly. It'll direct you right to me, to my partners, to all of our employees. And yeah, we'd love to hear you to reach out and hopefully we can solve a problem or help you out with a development in any way.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll make sure to include that in the show notes as well.
That's amazing. Well, thank you very much for your time, and I really enjoyed sitting down and being a part of your podcast.
Yeah. Thanks again for joining, Brady. Absolutely nailed it. And thanks everyone for listening in. If you're needing help to go from ideation to product, check them out. Brady and his team.
Thank you very much.
All right. Until next time, folks, we'll see you, and stay curious, stay innovative, keep pushing the edge. All right. Bye, folks.